Hello and welcome to the start of a series of tutorials on how to properly record motion capture data, transfer things to Blender, and make finished products. Today we will be showing you how to properly set up Motive to begin your motion capturing journey. To start things off, you need to locate and open Motive on your computer. Once it is open, you will see this informational tab right here in the middle pop up. You may read through it and see what it does if you would like, but for the sake of this tutorial, all we're going to ask you to do is press this X to close it. Once you've closed the tab, we will now is setting up your cameras. What you do is with your cameras, you want to set them up in a square or rectangular format. The best way to do this is have two cameras on either side of the room, and then on the longest part of the room, you want to have a total of 3 cameras. The reason for this is because you get a total of 8 cameras with this setup, and you want this to be your setup so that way you get the best capturing area. For our case, we did this, but due to limited space, we had to angle our cameras in the corners to be able to optimize our capture data. Now, if your cameras ever do look like this when you launch up, don't worry, it's normal. There is an easy way to fix this, and it's due to your ground plane issues. We will be discussing ground plane in a moment. Now, once you have set up your cameras properly, what you want to do is come over here to your camera calibration panel. If your panel is closed like this, you don't see it anywhere, what you can do is come up here to the top, and this little wand with like 3 dots around it, this is your camera calibration pane. You want to open this up right here, and it'll pop this. Now, you've got this first part is masking. What masking does is if there's any objects in here that are glowing, that means it's reflective and it's sending data into the cameras. You don't want that when you're trying to calibrate your cameras. So what you do is you mask this. What this does is it creates almost an X or turns them red, so that way it is not visible when calibrating. Now, if it is impeding your wanding, you can always come and press clear mask, and what they'll do is they'll remove all the red dots. Now, to begin wanding, what you do is you come here and press start wanding. What this will do is it'll go into record mode, and then you can take your wand out and start wanding out front of the cameras. So right here, as you can see, we are beginning our process of putting the wand near the cameras and walking around our capture area to allow it to gather the data. While it's gathering data, it's gathering samples right here. So you can see camera and samples. Under the sample area, you want to get a high number. Normally around 5,000 per camera is about where you want to be, because that will be where you get a good or great sample. So another way to identify this, in case you are like, okay, how do I know if I'm near this, is the color around this will start changing color as you gain more samples. So once it hits about 5,000, I think is about where it starts becoming a dark green. We'll show you that here momentarily. So as you can see, wanding just turned quality to low, and you can tell that the color around it just turned a light green. And this is because we're starting to get good samples. Now, obviously, some of these cameras aren't picking up good samples, so we're now going to have to move closer to those in order to get better samples. Okay, so now, as you can tell, our quality came up to very high. Now, this is where you can stop wanding. So what I'm going to do now is come over here and click calculate. What this is going to do is it's going to take this motion and it's going to start calculating it to give you the best area. So as you can tell, it's showing our capture area and all of our movements that happened. Now you can see overall results is exponential, maximum error, minimum error, all this stuff. If you want to take a deeper look into it, you can. and it also shows errors by camera. Now over here, what you do is you just press apply, and it applies the whole thing. Alright, now what we are going to do is we are going to come and set the ground plane. The way we do this is we grab this device that allows us to identify where the ground is. And what we do is we set the long one facing the wall with the most cameras, and the short end facing the wall with only 2 of your cameras. And as you can see down here, we are currently placing them down. There you go. And we can now see that the cameras are picking it up in here. So what you do is you want to zoom in, find these 3 dots. Once you've located them, just hover around it right here. What you do is click and drag over the 3 of them. And it'll pop up lasers, basically, and show coordinates or anything. Now all this is changeable in the assets panel, which if you ever want to hit there or go there, it's actually application settings, my mistake. You can always come here, click this, and it'll allow you to change anything here. Now you can do this with anything. So if we go under cameras, so we got different things here. And then rigid bodies, you got everything over here. Now I would say not to. I'll stick with the standard settings as they are fine as it is. So now what we do is once we have these 3 highlighted, you come over here and click set ground plane. Now what this will do is it'll redo the plane a little and set the ground. And what you can do is you can name your file name for any sort of what type of project you're doing, because every project you want to recalibrate in case you hit something or something shifts. So what you do is we'll say test. This will be our test one. So go ahead and export that. If we zoom out, you can see your cameras are now flat and lined up. This is perfect for what we're doing. As you can see, it's still identifying the ground plane right here. And you can see the ground plane's right on the ground, easily identifiable. Thank you all for watching. This is how you can properly set up your cameras and your ground plane. The next video we will be talking about how to properly set up your suit in order to get ready for the capturing process. See you all next time.